What if the one thing keeping your blessings locked away is that you have been speaking when you should have been silent? What if the delay in your miracle is not a lack of faith, not a lack of prayer, not even a lack of effort, but the unguarded release of your sacred words into careless ears? Have you ever noticed how quickly your energy shifts after you share your deepest desire, how suddenly doubt creeps in, not always your own, but borrowed from the fears of those around you? The dream that felt radiant in your heart begins to feel fragile once spoken aloud too soon. There is a law at work here, a law few are taught, but all are governed by. It is the law of sacred secrecy. What is concealed before man is revealed by God. What is hidden in silence grows stronger in the invisible. What is locked away in faith is later displayed in glory. Every hidden seed grows underground before it breaks the surface. The soil is dark, the roots are unseen, yet power gathers there. If you were to dig it up too early, the seed would die in your hands. So too with your written prayers, your visions, your affirmations. They are meant to germinate in silence before they rise into the light. This is why so many struggle without realizing the reason. They broadcast what should remain sealed. They scatter pearls before those not ready to carry them, and then they wonder why their desires dissolve into disappointment. But today you are being handed a different way, a divine key that has been whispered through the ages. When you write in secret, God moves in public. Consider how the great works of creation unfold. The sculptor does not begin by shouting his vision to the crowd. He sketches in silence. The architect does not unveil the building before the foundation is drawn. He drafts the blueprint in private. Even the universe itself was conceived in darkness before the first word. Let there be light. Secrecy is not hiding in fear, it is protecting in faith. Imagine this. You take a blank page, and upon it you write the desire burning in your spirit, not for the approval of others, not for validation, but as a sacred contract with the infinite. Then you close the book, you lock it away, and you walk forward in quiet confidence. No one knows what you wrote, but heaven does. The invisible law has been set in motion. Think of how many times you have opened your heart too quickly. You told someone your vision, they smiled politely, but their doubt clung to you like smoke. They questioned the timing, the possibility, the worth. And even if you shook it off, something inside felt weaker. This is the leaking of spiritual power. Words meant to create are wasted on ears that cannot hold them. But once you master the law of sacred secrecy, your words become untouchable, protected, sealed, untouchable by doubt, unshaken by fear. And here is the beauty. You do not need to fight resistance when you choose silence. This is the law of non-resistance at work. By keeping your desire guarded, you no longer push against the doubts of others. You no longer resist their fears. You simply remove their power to interfere. Your energy remains pure. Your faith remains intact. Your desire grows in peace. Unseen yet unstoppable. Every soul listening right now has desires that feel delayed. Dreams that have been prayed for but not yet answered. What if the delay is not denial? What if it is simply protection? Protection until you learn the power of silence, until you learn to write your words in secret and allow them to ripen. God is not punishing you. God is protecting you. The seed is not dead. It is growing underground where no eye can see. Let me speak directly to your spirit. Your silence is not emptiness. It is a womb. Your journal is not a notebook. It is a sacred temple. Every sentence you write in secret is a prayer carved into eternity. Every word sealed away is a covenant between you and the infinite. And when the time is right, those words will break open doors no man can shut. Now, if you are ready to journey deeper into these sacred mysteries, I invite you to walk with me daily. Subscribe to this channel for spiritual teachings that awaken hidden power. Every day, we unlock another law of the unseen that has been quietly shaping your destiny. Do not let another day pass where you missed the truth that could set your miracle in motion. And now, stay with me, because in the next part of this journey, I will reveal why the simple act of writing in silence is not just a habit, but an unbreakable covenant with divine intelligence. A covenant that once made, cannot be erased. A covenant that transforms hidden ink into visible miracles. The law is waiting to be discovered, and the doors are waiting to be opened. There is a law written into the very fabric of the universe. It is quiet, yet unbreakable. It is invisible, yet it governs the rise and fall of every dream. It is the law of sacred secrecy. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your words are forces of creation. Spoken aloud, they carry vibration. Written in silence, they carry permanence. When you speak too soon, you open the door to resistance. When you write in secret, you build a covenant no human hand can touch. Think of your journal not as paper and ink, but as a sealed covenant. Every word inscribed there is a divine contract. Every sentence is a prayer, recorded in the unseen. Your notebook is not ordinary, it is a secret temple where the invisible takes form. The spoken word is powerful, but it is vulnerable. When you release it into the air before its time, it can be bent by doubt, weakened by envy, or tangled in the fears of others. But the written word, locked away in silence, is preserved in purity. It is like gold stored in a vault, untouched, protected, waiting for its appointed hour to shine. This is why silence multiplies power, not because you are hiding in fear, but because you are protecting in faith. A mother does not place her child on the battlefield the moment it is born. She protects it, nurtures it, strengthens it until it can stand. So must you protect your dreams. Your silence is not weakness, your silence is wisdom. The struggle many face is not a lack of vision, but the hunger for validation. They long to be seen, to be affirmed, to be encouraged, so they speak their dream too quickly, exposing it to voices that cannot carry its weight, and the dream begins to fade. But what if validation was never the goal? What if divine confirmation was waiting to replace human approval? Here is your reframe. Every time you feel the urge to tell someone your vision, pause, breathe, and instead, write it where no eyes will see, no ears will hear, no hands will interfere, and then seal it in faith. This is the divine discipline of secrecy. Let these affirmations become your shield. What I write in secret, God reveals in perfect timing. My words, sealed in silence, return to me as miracles. Repeat them until they carve new pathways in your mind. Say them when you feel restless to announce your dream. Say them when you feel doubt trying to creep in. Let them remind you that what you hold in silence is never lost, it is multiplying in power. Visualization practice. Picture yourself writing your desire on sacred parchment. You fold the page, place it into a golden vault, and lock it with a key only God possesses. You walk away knowing it is safe. You no longer carry the burden, you no longer seek approval. You trust the vault of heaven to reveal it in perfect time. This is the law of sacred secrecy. To speak prematurely is to expose the seed to harsh winds. To write in silence is to bury it in fertile soil. The difference is everything. And now, remember this. Secrecy is not silence for silence's sake. It is not about fear, it is about faith. When you lock your words away, you are not withholding, you are entrusting. You are placing them into God's vault, where no thief can enter, no doubt can reach, and no force can destroy. Stay close. Because in the next part we will uncover the sacred mechanics of writing itself, why ink on paper becomes an unbreakable covenant with divine intelligence, and why every line you write in silence is the beginning of a visible miracle. Stay close, because in the next part we will uncover the sacred mechanics of writing itself, why ink on paper becomes an unbreakable covenant with divine intelligence, and why every line you write in silence is the beginning of a visible miracle. But before we enter that revelation, allow this truth to root deeper. Your hidden words are not forgotten. They are not buried in vain. They are planted in the soil of eternity, guarded by divine intelligence. Every page you close is like a prayer sealed in the chambers of heaven. Every line you write without audience becomes a decree signed in spirit. Think of the divine orchestra. The instruments do not begin in chaos. They tune in silence before the music rises. So too must your dreams be tuned in secrecy before their melody is released into the world. The silent gate of destiny does not swing open with noise, but with patience. You do not need the applause of man when you are carried by the approval of God. Let this become your healing dialogue. Instead of saying, I must share so others can believe in me, declare, I withhold so my faith can remain unshaken. Instead of asking, what if no one understands? Whisper, the one who matters already understands. Every shift in your inner language restores the purity of your desire. Every sacred reframe unlocks greater strength within you. Offer this short prayer when you feel the urge to reveal what is not ready to be spoken. Divine Spirit, keep my words sealed in your keeping. Guard what I cannot guard. Multiply what I cannot see. And when the hour is right, reveal what you have written through me. This is the essence of the law of sacred secrecy. It is not silence for silence's sake. It is silence as surrender. It is the art of trusting that what you protect in private, heaven will multiply in public. So when you take up your pen and close your journal, do not feel as though you have hidden your dream away. Feel instead that you have placed it in God's vault, and what is placed there can never be lost. It can only grow, it can only strengthen, it can only return as visible doors flung wide open. How many times have you told someone your dream, only to feel their doubt invade your faith? How many times have you shared a vision too early, only to watch it wither under the shadow of another's fear? You did not lose faith because your dream was weak. You lost faith because you handed your seed to soil that could not nurture it. This is the hidden struggle of the soul. We crave reassurance. We long for someone to tell us, yes, you are right. Yes, you are capable. Yes, your dream is holy. But here lies the danger. The reassurance you seek often comes wrapped in another's wounds, their fears, their insecurities, their failures. They lace their words without even knowing it. And when you invite their voice into your sacred vision, it becomes harder to hear the whisper of spirit within you. Think of a seed planted in the earth. Its power is not in what you see above the surface, but in the silent work beneath. The roots deepen in darkness before the stem reaches the light. But if you dig it up daily to prove that it is growing, you kill the very miracle you hoped to witness. So it is with your desires. The dream must remain in its secret soil until the moment of divine unveiling. Florence Scovel Shinn called this the law of non-resistance. When you announce your vision before its appointed hour, you are resisting divine timing by forcing validation. You are pressing the seed instead of letting the seed press upward on its own. You are substituting the strength of God for the approval of man, and every time you do, the energy leaks. Your miracle is delayed not because it was denied but because it was unveiled too soon. Notice how this plays out in your self-talk. You say, I hope this happens, and in that phrase alone, you confess uncertainty. You expose your dream to winds that can scatter it. Instead, write in secret, this is already unfolding for me. That shift changes the vibration. It transforms hope into certainty, wish into decree, waiting into becoming. Let this affirmation anchor your spirit. My silence protects my seed. My secrecy shields my miracle. Every time you feel the urge to announce your dream before its season, return to that truth. Your silence is not emptiness, it is armor. Your secrecy is not fear, it is faith. You are not withholding from the world, you are preserving for the world. And here is the piercing reality. Leaking energy is the single reason many prayers never materialize. The divine blueprint is written, the supply is prepared, the way is made clear, but the constant exposure of words drains the life force of creation. It is like pouring water into a broken vessel. No matter how much you fill it, it will never hold until the cracks are sealed. Do not mistake silence for weakness. Do not confuse secrecy with hiding. You are not hiding your dream, you are honoring it. You are not silencing your voice, you are tuning it until the right note is ready to be sung. Ask yourself with holy honesty, how many miracles have slipped from your grasp? Not because God said no, but because you spoke too soon. How many doors closed because you knocked in noise instead of waiting in trust? The shift begins now. From this moment, your silence becomes your strength. Your discretion becomes your discipline. Your restraint becomes your release. And when the hour arrives, your words will no longer leak power. They will wield power. They will not scatter. They will strike with the precision of a sword. In the next part, you will see how secrecy itself transforms into a spiritual weapon, one that not only protects your dream but propels it into visible form. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is the womb of power. It is the unseen chamber where spirit prepares its miracles before the world ever beholds them. When you learn to walk in silence, not as one hiding, but as one guarding you, discover a path of inner alignment that turns quiet into strength. This is not passive. This is not withdrawal. This is conscious mastery, and it begins with the sacred tools you carry into your secret place. Take your journal, open its pages as though you were opening the doors of a private temple. Do not rush. Do not treat it as paper and ink. Treat it as covenant and flame. Write with intention. Write as one who is recording decrees in the language of heaven. Let the words come from a place deeper than your mind, for your mind will waver, but your spirit will always know. Begin with this journaling prompt. In secret, I write, In silence, I believe. Let the words spill from you without judgment. Let them form sentences that might not make sense to the rational mind, but ring true to the soul. In these moments, you are not writing for human eyes. You are inscribing in the archives of eternity. Now, close your eyes. Picture your words placed inside a golden chest. This chest rests within God's temple, sealed and untouchable by human hands. See the chest glowing with light, guarded by angels of timing and truth. Every line you write, every decree you whisper inwardly, is locked there, safe, untouchable, preserved in its original purity until the divine hour strikes. This is your silent covenant, and your part is simple trust that what is locked in God's temple does not need your defense. It only needs your faith. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that divine timing is not delay, it is orchestration. It is the invisible law arranging all conditions so the dream is not just fulfilled but fulfilled perfectly. When you write in silence, you are not forcing your prayer into the world. You are aligning with God's clock, allowing the divine orchestra to play every note in its right sequence. You are no longer trying to conduct the symphony with human impatience, you are letting the composer direct the score. Think of the divine architect. No architect reveals unfinished blueprints to the crowd. They are drawn in quiet, refined in secret, adjusted with precision until they hold the complete vision. Only then does the building begin, and even then, the foundation is poured long before anyone sees walls rise. So must you be with your own desires. Your secret writing is the blueprint. Your silence is the foundation. Your patience is the alignment. And when the moment arrives, the world will witness a structure so strong that no doubt, no fear, no opposition can topple it. To embody this principle, I invite you into a practice of threefold writing. Write once with the hand, letting the body participate. Write once with the heart, pouring feeling into every word. And write once with the spirit, not with ink but with inner decree. Close your eyes and inscribe it upon the canvas of the unseen. Hand, heart, and spirit become one alignment, sealing your desire in 3 layers of truth. Let these affirmations guide your path. I trust God's unseen hand arranging every detail. My hidden words bloom at the appointed hour. Say them slowly, not as empty lines but as living breaths of power. Each time you declare them, imagine a divine clock ticking closer to your fulfillment. Not a clock of delay but a clock of orchestration. Every tick rearranges a condition. Every tick moves unseen pieces into perfect alignment. And while you wait, your silence becomes strength. Your secrecy becomes sanctuary. Your faith becomes fuel. Make this a daily practice. Each morning or evening, write one desire in private. Do not announce it. Do not post it. Do not dilute it with conversation. Write it, seal it, and reread it only in silence. Each rereading is not a reminder, it is an activation. It reawakens the vibration and sends it upward like incense before God's throne. In time, you will feel a shift. You will notice that secrecy does not feel like withholding anymore. It feels like empowerment. You will notice that silence no longer feels like emptiness. It feels like fullness, and you will begin to understand why the greatest miracles are always prepared in hidden places before they shine in public light. So walk this path of inner alignment with confidence. Let silence be your strength. Let secrecy be your shield. Let divine timing be your compass. And trust that what you have, locked away in faith, cannot be lost, cannot be stolen, cannot be delayed, for it is written in the eternal. It is stored in the divine vault, and it will rise at the appointed hour. Now that you know how to protect your desire, let's step into the place where secrecy itself becomes sacred power, for it is written in the eternal. It is stored in the divine vault, and it will rise at the appointed hour. Yet remember, alignment is not a single act. It is a rhythm, a devotion, a sacred repetition. Each day that you honor your silence, you are polishing the vessel of your spirit. Each time you resist the urge to speak prematurely, you are proving to yourself that faith is stronger than fear. Every line you write in secret adds another stone to the foundation of your destiny. So ask yourself daily, am I building in silence, or scattering in noise? Am I nurturing the roots unseen, or digging them up for proof? Am I waiting in trust or forcing in fear? Let these questions be your compass. Let them remind you that inner alignment is not about perfection, but about direction. Even if you falter, return to the practice. Write again, seal it again, trust again. And when discouragement whispers, remember this prayer: Spirit, anchor me in silence. Guard the seed I have planted. Keep me in alignment with the hour of unveiling. Hold this prayer close. Speak it in moments of temptation to reveal too soon. Speak it when doubt presses heavy. Speak it when you feel unseen, for in truth, you are never unseen. The divine orchestra is playing your song even now. The silent gate of destiny is already turning its hinges, and the moment will arrive when what was hidden bursts forth in glory. Now that you know how to protect your desire, let us go deeper. Let us step into the place where secrecy does not merely guard your dream but transforms into sacred power that propels it forward. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the silence ends, not because you break it, but because heaven itself breaks it on your behalf. The seed you wrote in secret, the desire you guarded in stillness, the decree you sealed in silence, suddenly it stands before you as living proof. What is whispered in secret chambers is shouted from the rooftops. By divine law, what you carried in your hidden temple is now carried into the world by the hands of spirit. This is the mystery of manifestation. You sow in silence, but you reap in revelation. The Bible declares, "Thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly." This is not poetry, it is law. It is the divine pattern that ensures what you entrusted to God's vault returns to you as visible blessing. Every quiet word written in faith is a contract signed in eternity, and contracts written in eternity cannot be broken by time. Imagine invisible ink. At first glance, the page appears blank. No one can see the words, no one knows the message, but hold it under the flame of light, and suddenly every hidden line appears. So it is with your secret writings. When the appointed light of divine timing shines upon them, the invisible becomes undeniable. The world that once doubted will marvel. The people who questioned will wonder, and you will stand in awe at the perfection of God's unfolding. Consider the story of a woman who wrote her dream in secret. For years, she carried a vision of starting her own business, yet she never spoke of it aloud. Instead, she filled journals with declarations. "My work blesses many, my supply is abundant, my doors are open." She locked those journals away, never seeking applause, never begging approval. Years later, the business stood in full bloom, clients at her door, abundance flowing, opportunities opening wider than she had imagined. And when asked, "How did this happen?" she only smiled, knowing the truth. Her miracle was written long before it was seen. This is the reward of sacred secrecy. The gate that once looked closed now swings open. The chains that bound your way now fall like broken cords. The opportunities that seemed impossible now arrive effortlessly, because they were arranged long before you arrived at the moment. But hear me with clarity. The open gate is not random. It is the harvest of every hidden word you wrote in faith. It is the evidence that God never forgets what is placed in his keeping. The world may have doubted, you may have even wavered, but the law remains unshaken. And when doubt creeps in, you are not powerless. Florence Scovel Shinn taught the law of substitution. You cannot fight doubt directly, but you can replace it. Every time a thought whispers, "What if it never happens?" substitute it with, "It is already unfolding for me." When fear says, "You are not ready," replace it with, "God prepares me in silence for the day of unveiling." When delay mocks you with impatience, answer with, "Divine timing is never late." This is how you keep the ink invisible until the light arrives. This is how you protect the covenant until the reward is revealed. And when the light does shine, it will not be dim, it will be radiant. It will be undeniable. It will be public proof of a private faith. So close your eyes for a moment. See yourself standing before a row of great doors, each one carved with gold, each one marked with opportunity, each one sealed until the right moment. Now watch as the words you wrote in secret rise from your spirit like keys. They fit the locks, one by one. The doors swing wide, not by force, not by struggle, but by divine alignment. You step through, not as one begging to enter, but as one who belongs. You walk as a child of God, moving through gates prepared in advance. Let this affirmation be your guide. God reveals openly what I write in secret. Doors swing wide before me. Say it with reverence. Say it with expectancy. Say it until you feel the chains fall and the gates open. Because this is the truth. The gate is not against you. It has always been waiting for you. The silence was not punishment. The secrecy was not delay. It was preparation, it was alignment, it was the divine orchestra tuning every instrument so that when the music begins, the sound will be flawless. And when that sound plays, your life will not whisper. It will resound. It will echo with answered prayer. It will sing with fulfilled vision. It will declare before all that what you entrusted in secret has been honored in full view. So rejoice, even now. Celebrate not only the doors that will open, but the silence that prepared them. Give thanks for the hidden season, for without it, the gates could not have been unlocked. And as you stand at this threshold, know this: secrecy is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of sacred power. For what you wrote in silence is now rising in glory, and what you protected in faith is now proclaimed in light. The sacred gate has opened, the divine reward has arrived, and your next step is to seal this journey with a vow of the soul, a declaration that ensures your life continues in alignment with eternal law. This is the sacred moment, the moment where everything we have walked through together converges into one radiant truth. You began this journey surrounded by the noise of careless speaking, the drain of scattered energy, the weight of doubt disguised as conversation. But you have traveled inward. You have discovered the secret chamber, the hidden vault of God, where your words no longer scatter into the winds of fear, but rest in silence until heaven breathes upon them. You now know that every careless word leaks power, but every consecrated word written in silence gathers power. You now know that what is concealed in faith becomes revealed in glory. The journey has been one of transformation, moving from the outer clamor of desperation into the inner sanctuary of divine certainty. From the fear of being unseen, to the assurance that God Himself sees in secret and rewards in His perfect timing. So let us seal this revelation, not with ordinary words, but with a declaration that holds the weight of eternity. A declaration that anchors your soul in faith and opens the gates of destiny before you. Say this aloud with me now: my secret writings are sealed with divine power. Do not whisper it timidly. Speak it as one who has touched the eternal. My secret writings are sealed with divine power. Again, let the words move deeper into your spirit. God rewards my hidden faith with visible blessings. Feel the chains of fear break as you say it. God rewards my hidden faith with visible blessings. And one more time, let us declare the full circle of this law. What I write in secret, heaven reveals in abundance. Say it until it is no longer just sound, but substance. What I write in secret, heaven reveals in abundance. Now pause, breathe. Let the rhythm of these affirmations become the pulse of your spirit. Let them echo within you as if heaven itself were speaking back. Close your eyes if you can. See yourself holding a key of light. Before you stands the silent gate of destiny. You insert the key, the words you have written in faith, and slowly the gate begins to open. On the other side, light pours out. Not a dim flicker, but a flood. Through the opening flow opportunities prepared for you. Job offers, divine partnerships, unexpected provision, doors you once thought were sealed forever. You step forward and they step toward you. They were waiting for this moment, waiting for your hidden faith to call them forth. This is not imagination alone. It is the alignment of inner law with outer reality. What you seal in silence, God multiplies in manifestation. What you consecrate in hidden faith, God crowns with public glory. And in this stillness, let us offer a closing prayer together. Infinite intelligence, I lock away my words in silence and receive the miracle of perfect timing. I release the need to force or explain. I rest in the divine orchestration that cannot fail. My words are seeds, my silence is soil, and my faith is the sunlight that ensures their harvest. I give thanks now for every door that swings wide, for every blessing revealed, for every miracle prepared. So it is, and so it shall be. Now, beloved soul, your part is simple but sacred. Continue this practice daily. Write in faith, seal in silence, affirm in confidence, and trust the law that never fails. What is hidden in God is revealed in glory. As a final act of sealing this teaching, I invite you to anchor your faith publicly. In the comments below, write these words: I have locked my words in God's vault. Do this not as a casual statement, but as a sacred vow. It is your act of planting the seed into collective agreement. Your testimony that you understand the power of sacred secrecy. From this day forward, your private words are no longer wasted whispers. They are living decrees, guarded by heaven, carried by spirit, manifested in due season. And when the gates swing open and the miracles pour forth, you will know that nothing was lost. Not a single prayer, not a single line written in faith, not a single word spoken in silence. Your life will become the proof. Your testimony will be the evidence. Your story will be the rooftop proclamation of what was once whispered in secret chambers. So walk now with majesty, speak with reverence, write with certainty, and trust that the God who sees in secret will reward you openly. This is your sacred declaration. This is your soul's vow.